Welcome to Maddie's World. Enter the world of networking, technology, and gaming.
Talk about AWS services, right? As well as we're gonna see how we can get started with using the instance now, right? So once you log into the AWS cloud, by default you come in the OHIO region, which is called the default region of the AWS, and North Virginia as well. You will see most of the R&D stuff they are doing in the AWS is in those regions itself, right? So when you click on these services here, you will see a number of services in the AWS cloud. You will see compute services, you will see storage services, you will see blockchain, satellite, right, internet of things, compliant identity compliance. You will see the database services and even migration and transfer services, network services, mobile services, right, machine learning services, developers to robotics, and number of services are you know being supported and being provided by the AWS itself, right? So the first service we are going to use is the compute service, which is one of the essential for you guys. And there are so many new things are coming rapidly in the computing service as well nowadays, right? So the first we're gonna see is compute service, which is called EC2 service. The first service of the compute is called EC2, which is called Elastic Cloud Computing. So we do not have any resources at this moment, guys. You can see no running, no dedicated host. We're gonna talk about these all one by one. All right, if you see the left hand side here, you will see EC2 dashboard, some even tax report. We're gonna discuss about them later. Here you can see about instance, and there are many type of instances available. We will discuss about each and every instance type here. The next you can see images. We're gonna discuss about the block storage, network security, load balancing and scaling, etc. Right? So the first thing we are going to create one, or we're gonna see about resources first here, right? So everything we're gonna do in this in the default region. We are not going to make any more changes at this moment, right? So I'm going to create one instance first, right? If you scroll it down here, or you just click on this instance, right, you can come here. It will give you the button launch instance option. So I'll not repeat things frequently. So you can see here the first tab, which tells us choose an Amazon machine, right, which is Amazon machine image is called the AMI in AWS. And this AMI consists of which operating system you need, which application you need, and so many things it may be, depending on the requirements and the image you are taking. The first one is quick start, which provides you the couple of Linux images, which is called Amazon ME images or Red Hat images, SUSE images, and so on and so forth, right? Some Windows and some Linux images by default. So you can choose these machine images as per your requirement. We will talk deeply about these you can say MEs further. The next is called MEs, my MEs. My ME means sometime, guys, you need to create your own MEs. Let's say you have multiple client, and where you have to frequently give them machines, like they need web server up and running in their instances, right, or some of the application server. So what you can do is you can install the things, create your own images from your VM. So those machines will be, image will be visible here. So at this moment we don't have anything here. The next is AWS Marketplace. So what this marketplace is, guys, marketplace is basically provides you the MEs with, you can say, software as a services, you can say also, right? Or you can say platform as a services as well, right? So when I talk about platform as a services, those images will have everything. You do not need to install anything. Let's say if you need to install some firewall, Barracuda firewall, right? So you just have to take this image. You don't need to do anything. Just take this image and start using it. So as long as you will use it, you'll have to pay for this. You remove it, you don't have to pay for it. So this can work as a hardware for you, I mean firewall for you. In the same way, if you need some load balancer, other stuff, you can say here you have total infrastructure software, 2405 products, backup recovery, data analytics, high performance computing, everything is there. We have 1954 products for the DevOps, right, where everything will be installed. You just have to use them. Here you can see you have 845 business application, right? So you can take any business application from here as per your requirement, right? So you don't have to do anything, everything will be there. You just have to deploy your things, right? That's what the AWS Marketplace helps you guys, right? What exactly you need, you can select the things from here, right? So all the CRM project, e-commerce project, e-learning, everything is here, right? If you need to create some wiki server, you can use this image. You can save your documentation stuff here. So this is what a marketplace provides you. In the same way, we have one community MEs center. Here you can find your community MEs also, like CentOS, Amazon ME, RHEL, SUSE, Windows, couple of the MEs which has been shared by the Amazon community, right? So this can be anyhow useful for you. So depending on your requirement, you can choose which category and which image you need, right? Let's say at this moment you do not need anything, you want to select any free tier, so you can select here. So all the images which are available in the free tier subscription will be available for you, right? So I'm going to launch one machine quickly. So here I'm going to choose Red Hat 8. I'll click on select, right? Again guys, depending on your requirement, you can select the instance type, right? आपकी क्या requirement है, आपको कितना CPU चाहिए, आपको कितनी memory चाहिए, क्या आपकी requirement है, as per that requirement you can select your instance type here. By default you see some general purpose instances are here, right? Here we have all type of instances also, compute optimized, GPU instances, memory optimized, storage optimized, right? So let's say I'm going to talk about the general purpose first, right? And which generation you are going to take, all generation or current generation? So let's take the current generation only. If you scroll it down guys, see here we have T2 nano, T2 small, T2 large, and you will see the difference is in the 2 to large you can see 2 virtual CPU, 8 GB of RAM. In the same way, you just come down and see how much memory these instances can provide you. It says you can have 64 GB if you take the M4 16 large, 64 CPUs, and it can give you the 256 GB of RAM, right? In the same way, how much network bandwidth they can provide you, so they can see from here, and accordingly you can buy the instance guys, right, as per your requirement. And these instances are, I think, maybe like about to remove, or we do not have permission to use, not supported, I think so, not supported with my architecture, right? So even these instances are available. So here I'm going to choose this general purpose free one, which is eligible for the free tier itself. We'll click on the configure. I'll not go deeply on each and every option at this moment, so once you go through the creating instance, then I will go through it. The first, how many instances you need, right? So we'll talk about purchase option later in next class. By default we are going with the default network. With subnet you are going to choose, let's say I am saying let the Amazon choose what is good for me at this moment. I am saying assign me a public IP. Enable, by default it is enable, right? Next I'm not selecting anything, so going with the default thing. Click on add storage. By default a root file system is created with the dev sd1, which is going to take 10 GB memory, right? Volume type, what kind of storage you are going to take, we will deeply talk about these storage also in the course, right? So by default let's take the general purpose SSD at this moment, right, which provides us this much of IOPS, right? If you want to encrypt it, you can encrypt it also. I do not want to read it, right? If you want to add more volumes, you can click in the add new volumes and add them. I'll go with the default things. So the next is tags, guys. So to define the tag, you'll have to give the capital name here. M should be capital. Let's say we're gonna call it web server. So if you don't give the N capital, so it will not take this name. If you want to add more tags to it, you can do that. So next is configure security group. We're gonna talk deeply about the security group also, right? So create a new security group here, give the name. Let's say I'll give it a web server. So what security group is doing is, these are your firewall rules which will allow or deny your traffic. So whatever rules you have specified, right? So what I'm saying here is allow my SSH from anywhere at this moment. So I'm going with the default thing at this moment. We'll click on review. At the end you will see here whatever the things I have chosen. So it shows me in the review and launch section. I'll go ahead and click on launch. I will create one key pair here, create a new key pair. I will give it name like AWS DevOps and download key pair, and we'll click on launch, right? So let's click here and see your instance. You can see the instance is being launched and this is in pending status so far. So you can see now the instance is up and running, right? Now the next thing for you is how you can access this instance. Now you already have a PAM key, right? You need to convert it into the private key. So for that what you need to do is you just need one software which is called the PuttyGen, right? You can download it from the putty section also. You can load your key. So let's go to download section, select here all files. Where's that gone? Let me see, where is that? Okay, this is in the user admin downloads. So just search for AWS DevOps PAM, click on open. Let's do it. Okay, right? You just need to save it as a private key. Yes. So let's save it in the desktop and call it AWS DevOps and save it here. So you're all done. So my instance is publicly open, so just click on the DNS, open the putty here, put your IP, click your SSH keys from here. So let's go to desktop and all file. Didn't I save that in here? So from desktop I'm just selecting my key, which is called AWS PPK. Open. You can give the name here Ec2 user. So in AWS by default, you have to check which image you are using, or you'll have to select the default username for your images, right? So you can see your VM has been created successfully, which is up and running, right? So we have seen here how to create one instance and how to access it.